Hello, YouTube world. Um, okay, so in response to today's news, we have Garland getting grilled at a Senate hearing, and this is my response. For a quick background is that Garland is Attorney General, which makes him the top office of the law and enforcement world. Um, so I'm thinking like you could relate him maybe like to like the mayor of the United States. Like every locality has its mayor, and the mayor is like part of the executive branch, which is there to enforce the legal branch, which is it's not to be confused with the legal branch, because the legal branch is there to legislate, which some are doing good, mainly Republicans these days. The others not at all. And then there's the judiciary branch, which is made of judges and courts, which are only there to basically interpret law and pass a sentence based on what has been legislated. So this is our guy, right? That is basically in Biden's pocket at this point. There's really no doubt about it. He doesn't have that level of independence from he and you have to understand is these people, they're human people, they're getting paid, their job is in the line, their family, their reputation. They don't want to look under the rug. It was swept under there. They want to look away. They can't deal with it, except of course um, there's a lot of things that are going on that are not being juiced up for the sake of of a political agenda, as Obama would have it. It's there. I mean, that's kind of sick, actually. I thought I was like a conspiracy theorist, and no, actually, like, wow, you outdid me there, buddy. Um, it's not true. These things happen on their own, and they happen over really bad leadership, just like you have, like, people like going out and like shooting people now because we have bad leadership. And I don't think that Obama ever really truly appreciated the power, the importance of a at the tone at the top. And this is something that you learn in account the controls. Brain, whatever. um, there's things like all the who's come out. So so I'm going to try and make sense of Garland's sort of hedging and approach to this whole thing, and try and bring everybody back to a normal conservative perspective, because at the end of the day, is liberals, is they're living in their own world, not caring about their impact on anybody else, and they're eventually, when they ruin everybody's life, are going to need a conservative. So we need to be there even for these losers. When they're done with their you know dance with the devil, some of us have to be there. But let me have a drink first. Okay, so I'm just gonna read because it's gonna help me sort of get my juices flowing here. Okay. And I start, like brainstorming. Dirty administration of Democrats. Garland claims that had Democrats been in control rather than Trump, that he wouldn't have released a memo to put a check on the paid foot soldiers going around looting and committing whatever else violent act. it's only in his interest to intimidate vociferous parents, whom, by the way, are a better quality voter and would never vote for anyone having faith in him. I mean, that, remotely close to his own, position in his views on public service. So of course, and that's just the truth with mainly a lot of, and this is why Trump and people like Mrs. Green, Representative Green, aren't very popular, is because everybody just kind of like played the system. Like a lot of people that made it to like a high office, they're not necessarily brighter or smarter than other people. They just were very disciplined to get themselves, like, they understood. And actually, it's offensive because that just means that they thought that the rest of us would never like pay attention and notice what they were doing the whole time. And as long as they played their cards right, and it's just a card game and it's all a game, it's not and it really isn't. Not for conservatives. For conservatives, it's more like, well, if you want to have this job and and you're genuinely interested in it, then why not? Like, I don't care. A lot of conservatives don't really care for like prestige and attention and glamour and like the seduction of a particular office. So we're fine. But what I think is most uh stood out to me from his position on this is that, well, wait a second. This is a game that Democrats who want to hedge their responsibility and their role in creating crisis after crisis are going to play constantly. And we as conservatives that have been watching for the last 5 6 years, whatever. I mean, me, obviously, is when I wanted to get a little bit more serious into voting. It's only been 6 years, but um I thought it's not fair for Garland to say that, well, it wasn't his, like it wasn't his administration that was in charge when all these people were going around looting. But at the same but guess what? It kind of was. And in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and go as far as to say that that was your administration that caused all the looting. You're taking advantage of conservative people that whom, by the way, last year, if we're if, in reference to the parents that have to send their kids back to school and face these demonic forces that are ruling, these administrators that are just miserable, doing a job that they work, like, why did you choose to do this job? Like, stop. They have no vocation. Like, there's no vocation with these people, and it's not the parents' fault, and it's certainly not the kids' fault. They need a true leader. They need a person that has a vocation to be a good teacher. They don't. So when a parent stands out and says something, it's because they know that something is going on. Okay. But let me get back to what I was saying. Last year, when everybody was forced to stay home, and Trump was a prudent enough to answer and make calls to the unknown viral agent out there, had no problem. Like, there was no problem with the parents, because the parents were at home worried, what is this? Let's just, kind of like stay tuned. And their parent and their kids were safe at home with them. So, okay. On the other hand, it's those whom get away with everything, that have no sake, that have no, like, there's no uh like, they don't have a stake. Sorry, sake. They don't have they don't have a stake in in the outcome of anything that goes on, and on any level. They're just little, blackmailing chantajistas, they're like, blackmailing, going around like, wah, wah, give me money. I'll be a Democrat and be your little foot soldier. So that's all they are.